In a season where Max Verstappen had the Midas touch, McLaren has finally thrown down the gauntlet. Max defending his lead, debating with his engineer, it's a whole new ballgame, thanks to the relentless efforts of McLaren and the unstoppable Lando Norris. The F1 triple world champion is in uncharted territory. Well, this isn't just a race, it's a strategic showdown. You see, ever since their mid-season upgrade, McLaren's been the talk of the paddock, not just for holding their ground, but for making Aston Martin, Ferrari, and even Mercedes sweat like they're in a sauna. Now, Christian Horner, the maestro of Red Bull wisdom, claims McLaren's the closest thing they've got to a dance partner on the track. And you know what? He might be onto something. With the numbers stacking up like Jenga Tower on steroids, McLaren's raked in 25 points, more than Ferrari, a whopping 50 more than Mercedes. And let's not even talk about the 158 points they've casually flicked off Aston Martin's nose in the past 11 races. But here's where it gets juicier than a gossip column. In the land of the Fast and Furious, where every millisecond counts, McLaren's not just eyeing the rear wings of their rival, they're hunting down Red Bull like it's a game of high-speed chess. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri have gone full beast mode, snatching sprint race pole positions, leaving us all wondering if Red Bull's having a little identity crisis. Now let's get real for a sec. Qualifying is like the red carpet, all glitz and glam, but the real test, that's the race. And here's where McLaren's saying, "Hold my energy drink." They've gone toe-to-toe with Red Bull, matching tire strategies and drum roll, giving away just over a tenth per lap over a whopping 92 laps in Brazil. That's like running a marathon in heels and still looking fabulous at the finish line. Let's talk about the summer upgrades. 2 words, absolute game changer. We're talking about a leap in pure lap time that's had everyone's jaws on the pit floor. But wait, there's more. A major update for Singapore. Team principal Andrea Stella credits that our bad boy for leveling up McLaren's tire management game. It's like McLaren found the cheat code to F1's success, and they're not keeping it a secret. Now, let's talk about the need for speed. Norris spills the beans. McLaren's always been a speed demon on the straights, but maybe not the sharpest tool in the shed when it comes to slow corners. Hold on a sec though. Did you catch Brazil? McLaren flexed on every type of corner, giving Red Bull a run for their tire squealing money. Norris even had Max scratching his head, thinking strategically about tire usage. And here's the plot twist. Norris believes that Mercedes' engine in his McLaren is as good as the Honda powering the Red Bull. So what's the missing link? Chassis and driver, my friends. But, and there is always a but, running behind other cars tends to hurt those precious tires more than a bad breakup hurts the heart. Stella's not entirely convinced McLaren could beat Red Bull, even if they gain track position. Why? He hints at some secret source in the Red Bull RB19's architecture that's limiting McLaren's capacity to close the gap. Stella's not throwing shade, he's just dropping some serious F1 truth bombs. Let's talk tech. Ever heard of Red Bull's clever rear suspension layout? It's the unsung hero, stabilizing the RB19's aero platform and letting it dance through the corners like no other. Stella spills the beans on the importance of mechanical development, especially that sneaky suspension. It's the backbone, the unsung hero, the plot twist in the F1 saga. Ferrari's struggled, Mercedes tried some band-aid solutions, but McLaren, they're gearing up for a suspension showdown of 2023. Let's talk about what's happening with Lando Norris at McLaren. Norris has been hitting the F1 tracks like he's got a cheat code for speed. The Brazilian Grand Prix was like his personal playground, showcasing a gap between him and Piastri that's more significant than the gap between my Friday night plans and reality. Now let's rewind a bit. Ever since McLaren's mid-season upgrade, Norris has been pushing the limits of that car. Take Singapore for example, a package so good it sparked a streak of 4 consecutive podiums. That's not a racing performance, that's a masterpiece on wheels. But of course, every hero has their days. In the qualifying department, Norris has been a bit of a wild card, getting outshone by Piastri 4 times in the last 8 races. It's like a sibling rivalry, but with way more horsepower. However, when it comes to the main event, the Grand Prix itself, Norris is in a league of his own, 7-1 in his favor, with Qatar being the only exception. That's dominance on another level. Now let's talk about race pace, the true litmus test. Norris has been consistently flexing his muscles, leaving Piastri in the dust. Even in Qatar, where Norris played the team game and held station, his race pace was like poetry in motion. What's the secret sauce? According to Lando, it's all about clicking with the McLaren, understanding its quirks, and boosting that confidence. Stella, the brains behind the operation, attributes this McLaren magic to a virtuous circle created by that mid-season upgrade. It's not just about going fast, it's about making that speed sustainable. The MCL36, thanks to Norris's skill and the upgrade, is now a tire management maestro. It's like having a car that not only goes zoom, but knows how to make those tires last. According to Stella, Norris has hit the jackpot by capitalizing on the car's upgraded capabilities. In simple terms, he's cashing in on the souped-up performance, and boy, is he making it rain on the racetrack. Norris hasn't been shy about airing his grievances regarding the McLaren's quirks. He's got dreams of hugging corners like a U, but often finds himself stuck in a V due to the car's limitations. Under McLaren's upgrades, especially post-Singapore, they've given Norris a taste of freedom, allowing him to sway a bit more to his driving desires. So, what's he doing with this newfound liberty? Stressing those tires less, and in turn giving us some jaw-dropping performances. Let's address the elephant on the track. Norris isn't immune to self-criticism. He's been beating himself up for what he playfully calls silly mistakes that, in his eyes, cost him better grid positions. Now, Stella has a little nugget of wisdom for Lando. Take a chill pill during the early stages of qualifying. No need to go full throttle when all you need is a ticket to the next phase. It's like telling your friend not to sprint in a marathon's first mile. Pace yourself, buddy. However, let's not forget the start line woes. In Brazil, whether Norris began the race behind or ahead of mighty Verstappen, the McLaren didn't quite have the turbo boost off the line. So while he might be a maestro during the race, the initial sprint needs a bit of McLaren magic. Let's shift from strategy to rubber, soft tires to be precise. McLaren throws its only new set of soft tires onto the car for the red flag restart, a move as bold as rocking up to a party in a neon jumpsuit. Meanwhile, Verstappen's Red Bull is chilling on old softs. Now, Red Bull has been working on some serious behind-the-scenes magic on the starts of the season, tweaking clutch settings and fine-tuning how the engine dishes out power. It's all in the pursuit of giving the Flying Dutchman the kind of traction that could make a cheater jealous. But here's the twist. The McLaren, for all its upgraded glory, still seems a bit shy in this department. Norris, our racing maestro, might need to put on his engineering hat and play a key role in beefing up McLaren's start game. Of course, there's a plot twist to consider. Is McLaren's recent surge in performance just a side effect of Red Bull shifting focus to the RB20 development? It's like Red Bull is the cool kid who's already thinking about the next big thing, while everyone else is catching up. But hold on, because as Herner wisely puts it, there is a point where even Red Bull will hit the top of the curve in their car development journey. That's when McLaren, like a coiled spring, needs to be ready to unleash its potential and strike first. It's a bit like a high-stakes game of chess, each move determining who will rule F1. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. We'll meet again in the next episode. Until then.